Well, good morning to anybody who may be listening today. I'm having quite a challenging morning, and I had a difficult night because yesterday I was approached by a fellow in an off-road vehicle with advertising on the side, and he called to me across the road and greeted me, and "Do you remember me?" or "I know you." And so, of course, I went to the car to find out what it was all about. And it turned out that he was seeking work repairing gutters. And I made the foolish mistake of saying that he should come round because the gutter in my neighbour's house actually, but it needs repairing. And I just wasn't thinking clearly. And so he was meant to be coming round this morning, but I haven't seen him yet, with his wife or his girlfriend, or perhaps with some of his mates. And I began to realize that this is probably a traveling man. He gave me a leaflet, and it was all about tarmacking drives and paving work, which is one of the main lines of work of the traveling men in our land, the ones that used to be called gypsies. And, I don't think there's any prejudice. But it's the way they conduct themselves, unfortunately, because they do a lot of scams. And I know that because in claiming to have known me, this man set my mind thinking, what's he referring to? Has anybody been? And of course, yes, I did have these people around one time, and they tried to scam me out of £3,200. And the way that they did it was climbing up ladders and moving roof tiles, so damaging the roof effectively rather than repairing it, and then coming down with their quotation. And they didn't replace the tiles or anything, they left when I didn't immediately cough up the £3,000. So they're scamming. This is the problem. You need to compete honestly. And the problem there is that there's a definition of personhood that doesn't include, for them, I believe, it doesn't include my people and other people generally. They're very separate. This is because I knew gypsies in Italy quite well. I became friendly with a couple of with one fellow in particular, and with a woman also. So I got to know them, and the woman's mother also, Ezra, through my wife, and we spent some time. And they don't consider, they didn't consider Italian people, natural Italian people, as it were, to be part. They're a tribe apart. They only really consider themselves. They're not at all integrated. And that's an ethnic problem also, because I remember reading the continuum concept. If anybody's read it, I found it very good. I tried to reread it. It didn't seem quite so good, but times have changed. In the continuum concept, they only really gave personhood to the members of their tribe. The continuum concept is an anthropological book that speaks of a South American tribe, which was documented sometime in the 1960s. So somewhat isolated, I think, would be the idea. A primitive culture, you could say. And their tradition, they only saw people of their tribe as people. Their word for people and their word for tribal members was the same. And they were extremely peaceful but they did, from time to time, kill people of a neighboring tribe with whom they had constant conflict, and they didn't give them personhood. And it was not war, but an initiation rites for young men to manage to kill one of these people, and the same for the other tribe, presumably. This is why we need Christian culture, to stamp out these wicked practices and ensure that every man and every woman is given personhood. It creates problems when you don't. And we're all people. We're all made by God. You can't be excluding people from the group. So it's their own fault, really, that they behave like that. And so when I realized that I'd been duped, I became very agitated, and I was unable to sleep. And I was very nervous about the meeting with these people this morning. Sometimes they're kind of tough also, They coerce, and they're a bit intimidating also. That's how they do it. With somebody of my age, they can do that, you see, because there are people of my age who are, more easily intimidated. I'm not really at risk, but I'm just a bit slow on the uptake. And he used a trick, and I hate being tricked like that. If somebody calls you over and pretends to know you, and then, you can't just walk away, and they know that. Or maybe if you have your wits about you, you will do. So that's the way the morning's going, and I've taken the opportunity to completely revolutionize my home and change the way the furniture's arranged in the place, and clean it, because it's just filthy, and try and organize it and get it rational and throw out stuff that I don't need. And so I've started on that job. It's going to be quite a while, because I finally finished the loudspeaker stands. I'll just show them on the video if anybody's interested. They're not very good, but I don't know whether you can see that one, and there's another one in the other corner there. And so that's done. And so I can settle down and do some serious stuff. And I'm thinking of traveling over to Italy and spending a little bit of time over there. It's come to me at the moment because I'm so isolated here at the moment. And, also since really breaking with my New Age friend, who was always a point of contact, I don't seem to have any network at all. I live in a completely Muslim community, really. Although I've been chatting to my next door neighbor, who's a Muslim man and a taxi driver, and it was a good talk. So I think we may have more in common than I thought. When you begin to realize that people are kind of have woken up somehow, not woke, that they see the problems, so they're thinking. It's always a good sign, isn't it? God bless this morning to anybody who may be out there.